We are in a especially beautiful spot in the middle of Yellowstone, and it is fantastic.
Contrast between the Yellowstone we experienced the previous 2 days and that which we've experienced in the backcountry is remarkable. It was Labor Day weekend, so parades of cars, parades of people, and now this. It's our second day in the backcountry here, and
we're now officially entered into fall. So we had frost in the morning, bright sunny days, and now parks to ourselves.
We just walked through one of the most surreal landscapes I've ever walked through, and now we found this.
Yeah. Dickie, have you been thinking about what you're gonna burn off?
Why would I be thinking about that?
Because we're in this like really hellish environment in many ways, like full of these like bubbling mud pots and stuff. So just thought about what we should be blowing up. What about our past lives we need to set on fire? Look at you running away. Why don't you want to deal with your emotions? So I read a lot of self-help books.
I don't.
As a guilty pleasure, and something new to begin, things have to end. And so for me, I've had this really split life between my professional life and my personal life. My personal life was silly, and my professional life was obviously very professional. I don't think it serves me, and I've known that for a long time. Here's the thing, known that for a long time. But by doing this trip, fucking blew it up. Blew it up. I have no idea what I'm gonna do after this. No idea.
I think I do a lot of damaging comparisons. You know, everything from comparing how many miles we should be hiking a day compared with others to how many movies I should be making. And it's very difficult, I think, not to judge yourself by others or by standards that exist. And in some ways, that means cutting myself a break, maybe. In terms of like, well, you know, the movie I made most recently hasn't gotten into one film festival. That's a tough pill.
How do you find inspiration after the thing that inspired?
After a flop?
Yeah, how do you find inspiration after a flop?
It doesn't come easy, actually. I mean, you know, it's one of the reasons I'm on this trip.
Which is radical.
This is the story of a couple of people
who attempt to reboot their lives
along the Continental Divide Trail,
blazing a new path forward
they like to call Crazy Possible.
I think a lot of novices have very romantic ideas about sitting by a lake and reading a book in the afternoon. But when you're a long-distance hiker, there's no time for sitting around reading a book. You're gonna walk from sunrise to sunset, and you're gonna take relatively few stops, and you're gonna smell. My biggest advice would be make sure this is what you want to do before you make the major life change of leaving home, quitting a job, putting your life on hold for 5 to 6 months, and spending a tremendous amount of money on gear and food and lodging.
I've only probably hiked about 3 miles today.
We're going so slow.
Strange, it's just strange when crashes hit you. I think we both just got dehydrated.
Yeah, I was thinking about why we're trying to make the miles and the time that we're trying to make, like what we're trying to get out of it. Because it's like what drew us to do Crazy Possible was how much we enjoyed our camping and our weekend journeys. But our weekend journeys were never really about long hikes to a destination. It was about really groovy time spent at the camp. and like doing like morning meditations and massages and journaling.
We're missing
and writing.
that right now.
Yeah, and we really miss it, but we're both really motivated about the transformation that comes from the miles and from the distance that we achieve. Like we want to do both, but we're at odds with it. Like it's just, and right now I'm trying to think about like, is this a tension that's a good tension? It helps you grow, or is this just us being idiots in some ways and trying, like, why don't we honor what we know it is that we sort of want? So I'm not changing anything that we're doing right now, but that's just the space that I'm in with it, where I'm just like, why do we do this? You know, like, what are we trying to get out of it?
Well, right now, I think we can combine both. Making distance so we can get to Colorado and enjoy Colorado before the weather just completely turns. And maybe when we hit the Wind River Range next, we'll have a little bit more ability to stay put when we feel like staying put because we're not in a national park. We shall see. All right, we better get out of here.
Gotta get out of here.
So that's some more deep thoughts from the trail, from the Janksters.
Happy trails.
Just entered into Utah.
Utah!
And as some of you may know, the Continental Divide Trail does not run through Utah.
Oopsies.
We woke up this morning after a cold and crazy windy night in the Great Divide Basin in southern Wyoming. It was f***ing freezing.
It's really cold.
We had the idea suddenly of Canyonlands in Utah, saw that it was only 7 hours away, and we made a crazy impulsive decision to just go. This is all part of like a bit of an existential crisis that Crazy Possible has been going through the last several days.
We had really wanted to do the winds as a through hike.
But it was like crazy snowstorm happening up in the winds. Really low temperatures, like
20s.
Teens. So we tried to like take a break, go hit some hot springs in Thermopolis, which turned out to be a pretty great idea. But still, you know, as the days went by and we were off the trail, it started to feel like we had, lost our way a little bit. And so there's this crisis that came up. We were like, okay, well, this was a big goal of ours, and now we're talking about like letting it slide. And that felt kind of bad. It shouldn't feel bad. And
it's a goal of ours to do longer hikes, yes. And it's a goal of ours to
challenge ourselves.
Yeah, but we're not through hikers.
Sure. It's still, you know, I still find it a little hard because I feel like I wanted to do, you know, like I need to be doing more through hikes. That's what real hikers do. But I think for the health of Crazy Possible overall, this is a good move. Like a welcome shot of impulsiveness, and, you know, we just have to let go a little bit, I think, right now anyway.